How you doing? I'm Matt with 731woodworks.com. Today we're going to be talking about the top woodworking tools for beginners. So if you're just starting out woodworking, you don't need all those big tools that you see to make awesome projects. I started out with 2 drills and a circular saw, that circular saw to be exact, and I was able to make tons of awesome projects, various styles of benches, outdoor table and chair set like you see here, all using just those 3 tools. Once I was able to make a little money selling those projects, then I started upgrading tools to a cordless drill and driver set because I didn't want to unplug and replug the drill so much and change those bits with a regular chuck. But the basic woodworking tools you need, all you need is a saw and some way to connect those boards. So you need a way to cut the wood, you need a way to put the wood together. In this video, I'm going to show you what those tools are. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video where I'll have 2 playlists for you. One of them is woodworking projects for beginners. The other one, my top 5 woodworking projects that sell. To make it easy for you, if you're interested in any of the tools that I talked about today for beginning woodworkers, I'll put links in the description below that you can go check out those tools for yourself. If you're an experienced woodworker watching this, drop a comment below letting others know what you think is the top woodworking tools for beginners. That'll help the community out a lot. So if you're gonna be working with wood, you gotta cut it. So the one way to cut it is with a saw. I recommend getting a good quality circular saw or borrowing one from a family member, which is what I did. So I actually still have this saw. My dad gave it to me after I borrowed it for a while. But this is just a Master Mechanic. It's a no-name saw. I actually still use it. I haven't even upgraded the circular saw because I haven't seen a need for it to spend the money on something when this one works perfectly fine. I did get a better blade. Those Diablo blades are really nice. If you have a jigsaw, you can use one of those as well. The only thing you're going to run into is when you're using 2x material is the blade depth. Sometimes you'll have to get an extra long blade, and those blades, the longer the blades, they start walking on you like this, left and right, so you have a hard time making good square cuts. A couple of drills. These 2 I borrowed from my father-in-law. I wound up inheriting these when he passed away, so I still have them. I don't use them, but I keep them just because this is what I started with. So this is the old Black & Decker drill, and this is a Makita drill. And I upgraded, the first thing I did when I started making money woodworking was upgrade these drills because I got tired of unplugging and replugging these things into extension cords, and they had the standard chucks, and I got tired of switching bits out with the chuck every time. So if you're starting out and you don't have a drill or you don't have an impact set, I recommend getting it doesn't matter really what kind. I went with Rigid because they have a lifetime warranty on the tool and the battery if you buy them from Home Depot. And that's what I did. I bought this set, come with 3 batteries and these 2 tools for like $179, I think it was at the time, or I think that's what the price were. So you can get them you can actually get the DeWalt tool set, a drill and driver set or a drill and impact set for about $200, sometimes a little cheaper depending on if you get a good deal. I recommend if you're going to buy a set of drills, or if you're going to get a drill, get you a cordless set. It's so much easier than having to plug and unplug those things. They're so inexpensive now with the battery technology the way they are. They last quite a long time. You can get Ryobi. They make perfectly great tools. Rigid, DeWalt, any of those things. When you start getting into Milwaukee tools, they get a little more expensive, but they're very good quality. I don't have any issues at all with Ryobi or Rigid or some of those, or the lesser expensive brands, because starting out woodworking, you're trying to save money, those tools will last you a very long time. I've had these Rigids now for 3 years, not one problem on any of them. And the great thing is that the batteries all interchange with the tools you have. So I picked up a router later to do round over edges, things like that. The batteries work with that, so everything's interchangeable. It's great. The one YouTube channel I will recommend to you is Tool Boss. He's always posting deals on tools like every day. Go subscribe to that guy. He'll get you a good deal on some tools. Obviously, if you're woodworking, you need a decent tape measure. Most any tape measure will work. Just use the same one, because a lot of times if you'll take 2 tape measures side by side, if they're different brands especially, they'll be off a little bit here and there. So if you've got one over by your saw and you got one somewhere else and you're using both of them, you'll wind up messing yourself up. 1 tape measure. I got this one off Amazon. 16 foot, plenty long enough for the wood shop. I like the fact that it's recessed in there because I kept dropping them and bending that blade. So once I got this one, every time I drop it, it won't bend because it's recessed. I like it. It also has numbers on both sides, which I like. Now when I started, I didn't have any clamps, So I bought some clamps pretty early on. I built those table and chair sets without clamps. It's doable. It worked perfectly fine. But I do recommend you getting some clamps. This is like a 24-inch Bessie clamp. You can get it for about $10 or $15. This is a Irwin 36-inch clamp. I use this clamp probably more than any. It's a really good clamp. They were $15 each, and I bought 2 of them. But if you have a Harbor Freight, these things are really cheap at Harbor Freight. So you can get a really good deal on these. Just to be honest, this is the Irwin, this is the Harbor Freight. There's not a lot of difference in them at all. And so you can save quite a bit of money if you want to pick up some clamps at Harbor Freight. You can spend tons of money on clamps. As you progress in woodworking, you're going to find out you can never have enough clamps. Doesn't matter if you've got 5 or if you've got 200. You're always going to be running out of clamps, seems like. But these are the basic ones I started with. They're just F-style clamps. Find them most anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, Rockler. If you like to shop on rockler.com, stuff like that. You can buy other type clamps, parallel clamps, and they go on and on. There's tons of different ones. These are the basic ones for beginners I recommend. If you're big into woodworking, you're going to need a way to smooth that wood down, so I recommend a sander. First one I got, it was a Hyper Tough from Walmart. It lasted about 6 months, but it got me through. I paid like $25 for the sander, so if you want a little bit better sander than the Hyper Tough, which there's nothing wrong with it, it worked fine for 6 months or so for me. This DeWalt sander, I've got a review on my channel if you want to check it out. It's the DWE 6423. I don't even think they make this model. There's a different model now. This is just a random orbit sander, 5-inch sander. Takes standard Velcro disc, 69 bucks. You need some type of square if you're going to be woodworking. You got to have square cuts. You have several different options of squares. Just a regular square. This is a Johnson square, very inexpensive, $4 or $5. It's perfectly square. Works perfect for me. You can also pick up a combination square. This is a Swanson combination square. It lets you do 45s and squares, so it's a combination. It slides. Swanson speed square is what I started out with. That lets you get some angles going. So like those table and chair set, the bottom of the feet are set at 10 degrees, and all the angles are either square or 10 degrees on that set. Swanson speed square is the way to go right there. Very inexpensive. Get those 10-degree angles every time. If you're building projects, pick you up some wood glue. It's like $5 for a thing of this. And one of these small 8-ounce bottles lasts me probably 2 months. It really just depends on what you're building and how much you're gluing. If you're woodworking, chips, sawdust, stuff like that's flying around, get some safety glasses. They're like 50 cents a pair, $1 a pair. For the cheap ones, that's what I buy off Amazon. They're dirt cheap. They cover you all the way around. They'll save you eyeballs. You only get 2. Buy some safety glasses. This may surprise a lot of people, but this is one of my #1 beginner woodworking tools that I recommend. It's a Kreg R3 or the Kreg K5. This is a pocket hole jig. Pocket hole is a method of joinery, so you can put wood together. It allows you to hide the screw basically inside the wood. Because of that angle hole, you'll be able to drill into the sides and join up 90 degrees or T's. You can actually edge join to build tabletops, things like that, with pocket holes. There's other joinery methods. You can dowel, you can biscuit, you can mortise and tenon. There's tons of other ways to join wood, but for a beginner who is just learning the craft, who just wants to build awesome projects, these are perfect for that. The Kreg R3 is about 40 bucks. I mean, you're not going to get a much cheaper joinery method than that. The Kreg K5 is $130. I started out with this building projects. Once I was able to afford the K5, I invested in one of those, and I have used this for the last 3.5 years. I use it weekly. I use it that much. This is one of my most used tools in the shop. I like pocket hole joinery. Some people don't like it. Some people talk bad about it. It creates extremely strong joints. They're extremely durable. I've built tons of furniture projects that I have in my own home as well as for customers. I've not had any issues to date. None. And the great thing about those Kreg tools, the K5 and the R3, both of them, no matter which one you buy, comes with everything you need to create pocket holes. They come with the drill bit, they come with the driver bit, and they come with a guide to show you how deep each hole needs to be and how to set it on their equipment depending on the thickness of your material that you're using. So using just a circular saw and 2 drills, all 3 of those things were borrowed. The saw was borrowed from my dad. The 2 drills borrowed from my father-in-law. I was able to make some awesome projects and start selling those to make money to upgrade my tools as well as supplement the income. So I've seen on a lot of other woodworkers channels the basic woodworking tools, and they're recommending table saws and miter saws and things like that. It really depends on what you're building, but you don't need those things starting out. Are they great as an intermediate woodworker? Absolutely. But are they necessary for a beginning woodworker? No, they are not. And those tools are very expensive. A miter saw, a good miter saw and a good table saw is going to set you back some money. So if you're just starting out, you don't have the money to spend on these things, or if you don't know if you're going to like the hobby, or if you don't know if the business is going to work out for you, you don't want to invest a ton of money up front. I didn't want to invest a ton of money. I didn't have a ton of money to invest to begin with, which is why I borrowed the tools in the first place. Starting out small and working your way up, hard work pays off, right? That's why I like the fact that I started simple. I was able to make simple projects that look nice, sell those, and then as I progress, I can look back over my videos and over my pictures that I've taken over all of my projects and see the progression, and it just feels good because it's something that I've worked hard at and I've accomplished up to this point. I want to be able to share that with you so that encourage you that you don't need all those super expensive tools to make awesome projects. I started out in a 12 by 18 storage shed building this stuff. That's where I started building my first projects, those chairs and table, little outdoor chair and table set. It was really cramped in there. It was really hot in there. My wife had mercy on me. She let me take over the garage, which is what you see today. And this thing has come a long way. You can see this miter stand that I started out with was on the top of a toolbox with some 2x8s on top. It was a very basic setup, but I built tons of great projects with it. You don't have to have the greatest stuff to make great projects. So you see a lot of these builders on YouTube that have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 shops, maybe even more expensive than that. You don't have to have all that expensive equipment to make awesome projects. You can do it with simple tools and simple methods. So I hope this video encourages you that you can use basic tools to create awesome projects, and then as you progress in your woodworking hobby or your woodworking business, then you can take the money that you're making off selling those projects to invest in more intermediate woodworking tools that will expand your abilities. Really, that's one of the main things I want you to take away from this channel and this video is you don't have to have super expensive equipment to make great projects. Anybody can do this with basic tools and just a little bit of want to. That's really all it takes. Like I said before, table saws are great, miter saws are great. If you're just starting out and you don't have the budget for those things, start simple and then you work your way up. It's taken me 3.5 years to build what I've got in here now. And that it's been very slow process. I haven't been in a huge hurry to get certain things, and I've also had help on certain things. My dad bought me a planer for my birthday. I was extremely blessed to be able to get that. I actually won a dust extractor from Tools by Design on Instagram. I would have never bought something like that for myself. I was so blessed to have won that. I mean, things happen, and hard work pays off. You just work hard at it. It'll come to you. Just be patient. Use the tools you have to create what you can. And then once you're able to make a little money selling those projects, then you can upgrade your tools or buy newer tools to help you with the next project. One of the main things that I had always wanted was a table saw, a good table saw with a good rip fence that stayed square and true. It took me quite a long time to be able to build up to buy one of those. And I was still able to make awesome furniture without it. But breaking down sheet goods and things like that, it's beneficial to have a table saw, but it's not a necessity. And this video is all about woodworking for beginners, woodworking tools for beginners. And I think these items that I've laid out for you today are necessities if you want to start woodworking. Hey, if you want to help support this page, you can check out the t-shirts below and the merch right below this video. You buy one of those shirts, it helps me out. If you don't want to do that, just share it on your social media. That helps me out. Also, we have a Patreon if you want to get in on that. And if you use the links below to buy anything, any of the tools below, I get a small commission off that. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help out this channel. Helps me make more content like this. Hey, I appreciate you watching. If you want to check out those playlists I mentioned earlier, woodworking projects for beginners are going to be there, and the top 5 woodworking projects you can sell is going to be here. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you share this on your social media, bam, I give you a virtual fist bump.